Hey, happy Wednesday Waffle.
Wir sind 4 Volleyballspielerinnen aus der Schweizer Nazi,
die sich jeden Mittwoch ein Weekly Update geschickt haben und jetzt einfach einen Podcast daraus gemacht haben.
Schön, dass ihr da sind.
Ja, herzlich willkommen zurück zur Episode 29 von Wednesday Waffle. Schön, dass ihr noch dabei. Wir reden heute noch mit der Lauren und das Gespräch ist wie der zweite Teil vom Gespräch, das wir letzte Woche aufgenommen haben. Sprich, nach unserem Weekly Wednesday Waffle Update, wo in dem Sinne aktuell ist, kommt nachher die Aufnahme oder die zweite Teil der Aufnahme, die wir letzte Woche gemacht haben, die wieder auf Englisch ist. Also für die Leute, die da wegen dem deutschen Teil da sind, das ist nachher auf Englisch. Genau. Aber ja, ich bin mega gespannt, wie eure Woche war. Ja, wenn wir mit unserer starten, also mit unserer, in dem Sinn, wir 3 von der Nationalmannschaft. Jetzt haben wir ja, unsere Euroleague hat ja gestartet. Ja, Sarina, erzähl doch mal, wie unsere Woche war und dann können Sammy und ich hinzufügen.
Ja, das ist doch gut. Genau, wir haben endlich gestartet nach einigen Trainingswochen und haben auch zuerst wieder in Schöneberg gestartet und sind dann am Donnerstag sind wir auf Finnland geflogen. Und es war eine rechte Monsterreise. Wir waren von 12 Stunden unterwegs, von 8 bis 8 auch gerade von Tür zu Tür. Weil wir in Frankfurt noch inzwischen gelandet und dann nach Helsinki und dort nochmal 2 Stunden Bus nach Nokia, hat es geheißen, habe ich lustig gefunden. Genau, und haben dann am Freitag unser erstes Spiel gegen Finnland. Und wir sind wirklich eigentlich ein mega cooles Spiel gestartet. Also, es hat mega Spass gemacht und wir durften den ersten Satz auch heimbringen. Und haben dann den zweiten Satz richtig knapp verloren, was auch dann auch den Verlauf des Spiels auch ein bisschen beeinflusst. Weil ich das Gefühl hatte, wenn wir den hätten gewinnen können, hätte das Spiel wirklich anders ausgesehen. Und im dritten Satz haben wir dann wirklich schnell ein Loch gehabt, es ist gar nicht mehr gelaufen. Haben es aber im vierten wieder fahren und dann wirklich den 5. Satz spielen. Und da haben wir dann auch, leider richtig knapp verloren. Es hat recht gebissen, weil wir noch 3 Punkte vor waren und 3 Matchspiele.
2 oder 3 Matchspiele.
Ja.
3 Matchspiele, ja.
3 Matchspiele, glaube ich.
Genau. Und dann war es recht, also aus meiner Sicht recht herausfordernd gewesen. Es war ein mega intenses Spiel gewesen und wir haben am Samstag wieder gegen Albanien gespielt. Und dort, also körperlich intens, aber irgendwie auch für den Kopf mega. Ja. Und ich bin mir es wirklich nicht gewöhnt, so ein Spiel nacheinander zu spielen. Also Schüler in Japan, keine Ahnung, wie du das hast hergebracht. Also es ist wirklich, ja.
Vor allem das zweite Spiel war ja noch mal früher gesehen, oder? Als das erste
Spiel. Ja, mega unglücklich gelegen.
Ja, genau.
Richtig am 6 und dann, ja.
Also wir haben eigentlich nach dem Finnland-Spiel in einem Hotel schon ein Video schauen für Albanien.
Das ist heavy. Gar nicht das andere verarbeiten.
Ja, nein. Mega. Oder eben so schnell wie möglich auf die Seite schieben, dass man sich schnell auf Albanien konzentrieren kann. Weil dann nach Albanien habe ich das Gefühl, sind schon noch mal ein bisschen Emotionen oder so ein bisschen zu verarbeiten, der ist richtig angefangen, von Finnland vor allem.
Ja, voll, absolut.
Genau. Ja, und Albanien haben wir 3 noch gewinnen, was cool war. Das Spiel war jetzt nicht das Schönste. Es war harzig. Und gleich hat es auch viele gute Sachen in beiden Spielen. Aber wir wissen jetzt auch, welche Punkte wir noch verbessern müssen, dass wir die nächsten Spiele nochmal einen Step-up machen.
Ja.
Genau.
Ja, mega. Wolltest du hinzufügen, Samira, gerade?
Hey, ja, du hast es eigentlich nicht schlecht gesagt. Also eben, ich glaube, man könnte sicher im Block und Service nochmal ein bisschen zulegen. Ich glaube, das ist sicher etwas, wo wir jetzt auch diese Woche uns ein bisschen fokussieren. Und die Reise war eben easy lang, wie du gesagt hast. Dafür war das Hotel richtig nice. Wir waren dort in so einem Spa-Resort. Aber es hat mega viele Kinder gehabt. Also es war auch schon sehr kinderfreundlich. Aber es war mega nice, dass wir dann halt wirklich am Samstag, weil wir ja schon um 3 gespielt haben, also in finnischer Zeit, haben wir dann können halt noch ins Spa gehen und dort wirklich ein bisschen sich erholen. Und das hat auch mega gut getan.
Sehr gut.
Ja. Ja, voll. Also ich würde dich auch hinzufügen. Ich hätte gesagt, Sarah, ich merke mega, dass ich jetzt am Verarbeiten bin. Also jetzt geht es vielleicht langsam, aber so ein bisschen, es ist eigentlich erst ein bisschen eingefahren am Sonntag, so, dass es gegen Finnland halt so knapp war und dass es eigentlich der Frust ist dann eigentlich noch ein bisschen mehr gekommen. Aber eben, ich glaube, mit ein bisschen Abstand muss man sagen, hey, look, Wir haben die letzten 3 Jahre gegen Finnland immer das 3-2 gemacht. Und jetzt sind wir eigentlich ein Team, das gleich noch mal ein Stück jünger war. Wir haben für mich nicht Positionen gespielt, die zum ersten Mal in dem Sinn auf dem Stamm oder überhaupt in der Zeit vertreten haben. Und für das ist es, glaube ich, eine mega gute Leistung. Und können wir sagen, hey, wir sind eigentlich, also Finnland ist das gleiche Team geblieben jetzt die letzten paar Jahre. Und wir sind in dem Sinn mit einem ganz neuen Team gleich mega, mega nahe. Aber es tut vielleicht einfach noch mehr weh, eben wie du sagst, der Zeitsatz war mega knapp dran gewesen, und es wäre ein anderes Spiel gewesen, wären wir 2-0 vorne gewesen, als 1-1 besetzt. Und dann eben im 5. Satz, ich meine, kannst du nicht noch so loben, aber schlussendlich haben wir 3 Matchspiele. Ich glaube, dann muss sich jedes Team sagen, das ist etwas, was wir fertig machen. Aber eben, ich glaube, in der Big Picture gegen ein Team, das wir letztes Jahr im Sinne auch verloren haben, 3-2, die High, also man kann eigentlich nicht allzu enttäuscht sein, eben, und dann auch mit das ist das erste Spiel von dieser Euroleague. Also eben, ich meine, wir haben zum ersten, also ich meine, die Trainingsspiele sind nicht das Gleiche. Wir haben zum ersten Mal in dieser Teamfunktion auf ein echtes Spiel gespielt und dann können so spielen. Ich glaube, das ist mega cool, und ich glaube, wir können da eigentlich vor allem viel Gutes mitnehmen. Und ja, ich denke, wir freuen uns alle fest auf die Heimspiele in Kriens. Ja, ich glaube, das wird richtig cool, und ja, das Ziel ist in dem Sinne jetzt nochmal deutlich klar. Eben, wir können das Level, wir haben das Level, und ich glaube, jetzt ist wieder nochmal deutlich, also, hey, wir wollen jetzt sicher die Heim 2 Siege einfahren, und ich glaube, ja, ich freue mich fest. Und ich, wie zu sagen, sage ich, wir haben es gut auf dem Feld, das ist viel Energie rum gewesen. Ich hoffe, wir können das auch ein bisschen produzieren auf Kriens.
Willst du gerade noch sagen, welche Zeit du spielst? Da haben wir das ja auch. Das ist ja auch noch wichtig. Das ist
wirklich wichtig.
Viel noch zu kommen, oder?
Ja, hoffentlich. Ja. Aber ich habe das voll nicht up-to-date. Habt ihr das up-to-date? Wann spielen wir?
Also am Freitag spielen wir am 3.
Ja.
Genau. Und am Sonntag auch. Am Sonntag auch am 3.
Genau. Und wir spielen am Freitag gegen Georgien, was ich glaube, ich weiß nicht, vielleicht denke ich es falsch, aber ich habe das erste Mal Schweizer Nazi gegen Georgien gespielt. Jedenfalls, ich mache mich nicht jemals gegen Georgien gespielt.
Ich habe noch nie gegen Georgien gespielt.
Ja, darum mega gespannt. Und dann spielen wir am Sonntag gegen Österreich.
Ein altbekannter.
Genau.
Ja.
In der
ein sehr
Pilatus Arena, oder? Heisst sie?
Ja.
Genau.
Ja, Pilatus Arena Kriens.
Ja, ich bin gespannt auf die Halle.
Ja. Ja, ich freue mich. Yay! Okay.
Was haben ihr noch für einen Tag? Haben ihr freien Tag gehabt überhaupt? Oder haben ihr etwas gemacht?
Ja, wir haben gestern frei gehabt. Also, gestern war Montag, am Montag haben wir frei gehabt. Und also ich muss sagen, ich bin mich noch sehr am Nacherholen. Also ich bin immer noch ein fix und fertig von diesen 2 Spielen und dem Load und alles Mögliche. Und eben halt, ja, nicht, also ich meine, ich bin noch nicht, also ich meine, es ist crazy gewesen. Es ist jetzt genau 6 Wochen her gewesen, dass es mit der Verletzung passiert ist.
Ja.
Ich glaube, ich merke das halt schon, also ich bin nicht auf der Höhe, also es geht noch nicht so, also ich bin im Sinne noch nicht 100% back, und ich tue wirklich die Off-Days nutzen für, ich gehe ins Body und da schön Wasser Akrobatik machen, und ich mache und ich bin wirklich so ein bisschen, probiere meine Freitag möglichst zu nutzen, um da möglichst den Fuß unterstützen bei dem Heilungsprozess. Darum, das war mein Freitag. Wie war euer?
Hey, ich habe auch gearbeitet, ich habe gewaschen. Der Janis war am Morgen noch daheim, das war schön. Und am Sonntagabend noch für mich gekocht. Das war auch schön.
Schön.
Genau, am Abend noch zu meiner Mama essen und meine Schwester noch gesehen. Aber auch wirklich mehr gemütlich und Beine hoch. Genau.
Sehr gut.
Mein Freitag hat voll anders ausgesehen.
Ja, das ist so
Nein, so schlimm ist es nicht. Aber es war ein spezieller Tag gleich, weil ich bin am Morgen, Vormittag, also ich schlafe gerne aus, von dem nicht früh, bin ich mit einer Kollegin ein bisschen laufen, aber gemütlich eher Spaziergang. Und nachher am Abend habe ich ein Training gegeben bei Galina. Also ja, ich bin dort mal eingeladen worden von einer Kollegin. Sie hat mit mir früher gespielt und sie ist jetzt Nazi-Trainerin vom Liechtenstein. Und sie ist auch Trainerin von einem Club, Volley Escha heisst der, das ist Ende Liechtenstein. Und sie hat dort verschiedene Teams wie eingeladen gehabt und hat mich gefragt, ob ich Lust hätte, um mal vorbeikommen und das Training zu machen. Weil ein paar kommen dann eben auch jetzt am Sonntag auf Kriens, und damit sie mal wirklich gerade noch irgendwie die Person vorher mal noch gesehen haben, ist natürlich mega cool. Und dann bin ich dort wie vorbeigegangen. Schlussendlich mega lange in der Halle gestanden, also ich glaube 6 bis fast um 10, aber halt auch noch lange dann geredet mit, also das Training ist nicht so lang gegangen, halt bis irgendwie um 8:45 oder so, aber dann halt mit noch alten Kolleginnen quasi geredet und halt gemütlich noch genommen. Und ja, das Training ist mega krass gewesen, der Unterschied von den Levels. Und ich bin am Anfang schon ein bisschen nervös gewesen, weil es hat Viertliga gehabt, Drittliga gehabt, Zweitliga gehabt, Junioren.
Ui,
Und ich konnte es wirklich
ja.
nicht so einschätzen,
Mhm.
wie das Niveau dann schlussendlich ist. Aber ich glaube, ich habe noch das irgendwie gut unter den Hut bringen mit, wie soll ich sagen, einfachen Übungen, wo jedes Niveau die Übungen hat können machen. Und noch so ein bisschen 6 gegen 6. Und ich glaube, sie sind mega happy gewesen von dem her. Ist es wirklich cool gewesen. Ja.
Mega cool.
Nicht?
Ja. Aber spannend, dass du Energie gehabt hast. Also ich meine, Chapeau.
Ja.
Wirklich.
Also-
Ja, also jetzt jeden Freitag könnte ich das nicht machen.
Nein.
Aber so jetzt zwischendurch einmal, also ich habe eine coole Option gefunden, eben sie wieder mal ein bisschen zu sehen und irgendwie sind das gleich auch die Wurzeln, wo ich mal war. Also,
Das stimmt.
ja, hat mich irgendwie mega gefreut, um wieder herzukommen und wieder, ja, es sind noch mega viele gekommen, eigentlich, die ich auch zusammen gespielt habe. Also, von dem her, die sind auch immer noch
schön.
dort und es war mega schön, um die wieder zu sehen.
Ja. Cool. Ja, Maja. Wie war deine Woche?
Ja, du, ich war meine Ärztewoche gesehen. Also ich
Ja.
habe alle Arzttermine abklappert, die man mal so einmal im Jahr machen muss, inklusive Tierarzt und was auch nicht, Frauenarzt, Zahnarzt, also wirklich zack, 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 zack gemacht. Und habe, aber der grösste Arztbesuch ist eigentlich gesehen, dass ich noch zu einem Spezialist gegangen bin, wegen dem Ellenbogen. Und zum halt einfach nochmal, ja, jemanden haben, der wirklich mit dem Ellenbogen fest rauskommt und das Gelenk, das doch so sehr speziell ist, angeschaut hat, verschiedene Tests gemacht hat. Und ja, also wie gesagt, kurz zusammengefasst, es ist jetzt ein kleiner Eingriff nötig, im Sinne von nötig, dass ich halt die beste Chance habe, wirklich komplett schmerzfrei zu sein. Man kann es versuchen mit irgendwelchen Spritzen, aber gerade wenn man halt weiter Leistungssport möchte machen, wird es halt der Schmerz immer wieder zurückkommen und durch das wird ein kleiner Eingriff gemacht, morgen am Mittwoch, also wenn der Podcast draußen ist, drückt gerade Daumen, wahrscheinlich bin ich dann genau in der OP.
Ja.
Und ja, also wie gesagt, ich habe das Gefühl, ich bin da in sehr guten Händen, ich bin sehr zuversichtlich auch mit der Reha, es hat das ohne Problem länger, dass ich genug vor Saisonstart wieder 100% Volleyball spielen kann und dann ja, mich da hoffentlich gut und schmerzfrei auf die nächste Saison vorbereiten kann. Darum ist das ein bisschen in dieser Woche so ein bisschen das Größte gewesen, was eigentlich passiert ist. Dann am Freitag ist der Tim noch aus dem WK zurückgekommen. Haben wir gemütlich bei mir daheim Pizza gemacht, also selber Pizza im Pizzaofen. Das war so schön gewesen.
Die feine
dann-
Pizza.
Ja, genau.
Ja.
Die kleinen, so ein Pizzaofen, das ist richtig cool. Und ja, am Samstag haben wir dann mit meinen Eltern noch gemögelt und im Verlauf des Nachmittags sind wir dann zum Tim heimgefahren, haben dann dort mit seiner Mami und dem Partner zur Nacht gegessen. Das ist auch wirklich einfach ein ganz, ganz gemütliches Wochenende gewesen. Der Tim war halt ziemlich müde gewesen vom WK, weil er dort halt sehr viel wach machen muss und durch das die Schlussrhythmus sowieso nicht gerade so optimal ist. Und am Sonntag haben wir sehr, sehr lang geschlafen. Also haben wirklich nicht viel gemacht. Dann haben wir ein paar Sachen erledigt und dann eigentlich gemütlich Formel 1 geschaut. Und dann am Oben habe ich ihn dann wieder zurück in die Kaserne bringen. Das hat es in der letzten Woche WK. Und dann bin ich wieder daheim gewesen, habe jetzt meinen Montag damit verbracht, ganz viele Sachen von meinen Eltern auf Ricardo stellen. Ich habe 50 Artikel auf Ricardo gestellt.
Wow.
Das ist jetzt mein Side-Business.
Hast du das ausgemistet?
Hey, boah, also sie haben Sachen
krass.
ausgemistet, dann haben sie mir die gegeben und ich habe das da aufgestellt und sage also, mindestens 10 Sachen habe ich an einem Tag sind auch direkt verkauft worden. Also,
Wow.
wenn ihr mal irgendetwas habt bei euch im Keller,
Kann man mehr
Einfach
so.
Ricardo.
ja, das ist wirklich funktioniert.
Aber es geht auch von Rechtgebung, nicht mit KI, wo du schon
Ja,
viel Vorschläge
das stimmt,
machst und so.
eben genau. Du kannst dort
Ja.
einfach auf so auf einen
Aha.
Knopfdruck Ding und also du musst ich tue es eigentlich schon mal anpassen, weil es
Ja,
ist
ja,
ein
meistens
bisschen
musst du
sehr,
schon.
sehr Ding und manchmal musst du Sachen auch noch hinzufügen oder ändern. Aber es hilft schon enorm, dass du das so machen kannst und dann kannst du halt ja, mittlerweile habe ich es auch eben nach keine Ahnung wie viele Artikel auch ein bisschen draussen gehabt. Also habe ich das
Nice.
gemacht gehabt. Und ja, dann Heute bin ich, also am Dienstag jetzt, bin ich ins Fitness gegangen, da hatte ich auch noch ein bisschen Action gehabt. Heute hatte ich meine Cardio-Session gehabt und da bin ich eigentlich schon praktisch fertig gewesen, habe noch die letzten paar Minuten noch ein bisschen Velo, so ein bisschen ausfahren gehabt. Plötzlich geht ein riesen Alarm ab, bitte evakuieren Sie das ganze Gebäude, gehen Sie durch den Notausgang raus und es ist wirklich so on repeat das gelaufen und das ist mir ja laut gewesen. Und wir alle so, okay, dann, also ich bin wirklich direkt rausgelaufen, ohne irgendwie noch in den Garderobe so zu gehen und bin voll verschwitzt gewesen, kurze Sachen und es ist schon noch kalt gewesen. Und dann sind wir da draussen gestanden und dann habe ich mich selber so ein bisschen bemitleidet. Dann habe ich gesehen, die aus der Sauna, die sind halt nur im Tierchen draussen gestanden und dachte, okay, die haben sich noch schlimmer getroffen. Also, ich bin wirklich so, dachte ich so, yes, das geht. Und keiner hat natürlich gewusst, was Sache ist. Und so nach, ja, also sicher 10 Minuten sind wir locker da draussen gestanden. Ist dann irgendeiner rausgekommen und gesagt, ja, Fehlalarm, können alle wieder rein. Und dann sind wir wieder reingegangen.
No way.
In der Sauna.
Ja,
die armen Leute.
Ja, wirklich. Wirklich, ich bin wirklich so
Tüchlein mit.
Ja, stell dir mal vor.
kleines Tüchlein?
Ja,
Ich habe nicht gedacht. Ich habe gedacht, oh nein, was ist mit genau
musst
das,
entscheiden.
dass du ein kleines Tüchlein dabei hast und nachher alles
ja,
weg und
also
steht aus.
ehrlich, dann ist es halt einfach gesehen, dann hast du halt Pech gehabt, oder? Also dann bist du halt in der Sauna.
Das ist halt für die Sauna.
Nein, meine Variante wäre, ja, wir haben die anderen schönen Tag gehabt, haben es extra. Aber hallo?
Ja, ich habe wirklich gedacht, als ich die gesehen habe, aus der Sauna rausgekommen in der Tierchen, ich denke, boah, ich habe es auch halt
Darf dich doch
weil
nicht
ich
so
halt
fest
aber
vermitteln.
die tun mir wirklich leid. Ja, und jetzt bin ich wieder reingegangen, dann habe ich gefunden, nein, jetzt die letzten 5 Minuten gehe ich nicht mehr aufs Velo, jetzt gehe ich duschen. Jetzt, ich sage jetzt Mucki nicht, aber du hast 5 Minuten weniger gemacht. Und ja, und dann daheim gewesen, und jetzt oben bin ich mit meiner Mami und meiner Cousine, die hier auf Besuch ist, sind wir noch Minigolfen. Ich habe schon ein bisschen Druck gehabt, dass ich da performen muss.
Ah, wirklich? Sogar Minigolf?
Hast du
Ja, ich habe gewonnen. Aber sagen wir mal so, ich kenn die Minigolfbahn. Ich gehe einmal im Jahr sicher mit dem Team dort Minigolfen. Und darum, ja, es ist nichts jetzt gegen meine Familie. Meine Cousine haben sehr gute Schüsse gehabt. Also ich muss sagen, sie haben es gut gemacht. Aber trotzdem habe ich gedacht, ich muss da schon zeigen, dass ich da die Bahn kenne. Bisschen Competition, okay?
Genau,
das ist okay. Verstehe ich.
Aber ich habe gewusst, wenn ich nicht gewinnen würde, habe ich immer noch Ausreden, ich kann es auf Ellenbogen schieben.
Ja.
Nein, aber das hat Spass gemacht. Und ja, jetzt sitze ich da und rede mit euch.
Schön.
Yay! Na, wäre cool. Ja, also in dem Fall toi 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 für morgen.
Danke.
Ganz viel Erfolg, ja.
Ja,
Mhm.
ja, ist ein bisschen spannend. Das
Ja, das ist recht die Wendung genommen, aber ich bin sehr froh, dass ich da zu dem Spezialist gehen durfte.
Ja.
Eine gute Freundin von uns allen hat der Zufall schafft gerade mit dem und hat dann das mir ermöglicht. Da bin ich sehr dankbar. Und ja, also sagen wir so, es ist immer gut, eine Zweitmeinung zu holen. Schlussendlich, vor allem gerade bei sportspezifischen Sachen, ist es wirklich, hat sich das jetzt gelohnt, auch wenn ich sozusagen einen Monat verloren habe, aber schlussendlich bleibe ich jetzt und ich habe immer noch genug Zeit bis zum Saisonstart.
Ja, voll.
Na, mega cool, hast du die Möglichkeit.
Ja, genau.
Ja. Gut. Hast du noch etwas zum Anfügen zu einem Wochenupdate oder was sonst noch gerne wieder sagen?
Nein, ist gut.
Nein.
Gut. Super. Ja. Dann wünschen wir euch ein gutes Hörerlebnis oder sonst Erlebnis. Ich bin Teil von Lauren. Wie gesagt, der Teil ist wieder auf Englisch. Und ja, wir hoffen, die haben Freude daran, weil ja, wir haben es wirklich mega cool gefunden. Okay, cool. So we've already talked a little bit about it with like the more technical or tactical aspect of your game. As I said, like in our first talk, you kind of like, I think you brought it up, or just together we talked about that I had shoulder pain, and you were like, we're gonna change the whole thing, and you teach me a whole new mechanic of my arm swing that, again, like, now I don't want to shame out all the other coaches I ever had, but no one was telling me anything about this. And I was like, wait, what is going on? And we looked at, like, you talked a lot about like throwing a tennis ball. I had to throw a tennis ball. But it was a lot about like throwing, and it was more like that whole movement. And it was like, for the first time, I think I looked at the arm swing as more of like a natural element. And before I saw it as like super just technical, like, I don't know, just high elbow and then snap it away and whatever. And I was in pain. So I am so thankful that we changed it. But I think it's so another cool factor of like, yeah, it just felt like you were looking at the game from just a little bit of a different angle that other coaches would. And so again, like, how did that develop, especially in those elements that you didn't have as a player? Like, you were a setter. I don't know if I said it before, but like, you were a setter. So for example, you didn't receive necessarily a whole bunch of balls, and you didn't do too many block moves as, for example, a middle blocker has to do. How did that knowledge develop? Did you just watch a ton of volleyball, or how did that?
Yes, I think the shoulder thing's a good introduction. So, I mean, yeah, I was recruiting you and I watched you, and when you said you had shoulder pain, I was like, yes, that seems quite obvious, because you were using just your anterior delt to attack. And I just investigated it. Again, I don't know like everything, but I would like to know everything, like literally everything. I want to know it and I want to learn. So that was first year of nuke, right? Yeah. So I saw that you had pain. I don't think pain is normal. It usually comes from something that's problematic, which is another philosophy of mine. It does absolutely not mean we have to rest. It means we have to do things like what we did with you, which was restructure some movements, because we could take some pressure off that area of the shoulder and create more torque and stuff like that. So I paid a decent amount of money to one guy for a course, and I watched it, and it was learning how to create that torque and create that new arm swing and some progressions we go through. I don't know if I showed you a few of those videos as well, probably. Yeah. And then, just I'm curious. I'm very curious, and I won't accept something. Like, I'm not going to accept that that's the way that it should be. You shouldn't be in pain. You should have a long career, and honestly, you should hit harder. And so all those things were important for me, just to go figure out how to teach you that. And yeah, that was a long 2 years, but look where you are now. So now we've got a nice new arm swing and much less shoulder pain. So I would say that's how by the way, that's 10% me and 90% Julie. Like, I
thank you.
Gave you the framework to do that, and not everyone would actually persist for that long to be able to get it changed to be helpful. So she is a very shining example of what it takes to change a deeply ingrained movement, and how necessary it is, and how much better it can be. Anyway, that's across the board. Like I said, if you asked me on my last year of my career, what are some setting keys and mechanics, I could not tell you. That's not a reflection of the coaches that I had. It's the time that I played in, and I was not taught maybe any frameworks or anything like that. And I don't believe that everything has to be a framework, but it certainly helps. It helps to have some consistency and helps to have some sort of idea there. So I couldn't have told you any keys and as to how I set. Like, I remember one coach saying to me, "Oh yeah, but you pivot set," and I'm like, did I jump off one leg to set? I wouldn't remember. I think I just did it because that was what was natural. And so zero awareness of what I did as a setter. So I had to learn how to teach a setter as much as I had to learn how to teach a receiver. And that was through watching a lot of volleyball. But again, there's science behind, there's motor learning, a lot of motor learning science behind the way we teach and how our body reacts to things, and that's still evolving. So as I hope you guys have seen, each year my keys might change a touch, or some methods change slightly that I'm trying to improve there, as well as talking to coaches, some coaches that have different ideas like of technical training, and trying to mesh it together to see what matches, like what actually works, and then experiment with that a lot. But I wanted to put a framework in place. That framework can be changing. So I would say, creating skill keys, and then exploring how you guys understand them. Like, there's one part, it's just people hear things differently regardless of the language. And then there's another part of the language as well. So it was important for me to make sure I was flexible there and continually evolving that. So that was, again, just curiosity and investigation and wanting to be the best at my craft and wanting to give the best of myself to what I do. Because I just think that I was always destined to do something to its completely fullest capacity, and that definitely is the purpose of my life, and making sure that I can have an impact through that. It's always been something that's very important for me, and so just learn and just try to know everything.
Yeah. This is also so impressive because, like, you really put a lot of effort, like, building up some players. Like, you work. I have never seen like an organization like you do before, like any coach that I had, like putting always like technically stuff in the in the practice. Like you work with everyone on some technique stuff, like whether it's like a middle blocker, okay, footwork for block. If it's an outside hitter swing, like Shili, like you try to make everyone of your team like much better, and you put a lot of effort. You give like the instruction also your assistant to put an eye on that. Like I don't know, this kind of work that you do also with the video, you don't put so much feedback during the practice. Like you give feedback, but mostly you try to give feedback different because you interrupt the practice, like when you do too much like speaking during the practice. But also, I don't know, this construction, how did you come up with that? Like, for example, to give more feedback by video, like to put all this effort, how did that work?
Yeah, the sentence is just no stone unturned, and I'm still like getting better. We say it in English. It means no stone unturned, like, or like I don't want to not win. So, like whatever I have to do, like I'm gonna do it. Like I'm just gonna do it. And so, like whether that be learning how best to teach you guys, which again has to evolve year to year. I'm gonna be a better coach in 5 years than I am today. I'm a better coach now than I was 5 years ago. You know, and no stone unturned. So I try not to interrupt practice too much with crazy feedback because just, again, science, such things like that tell us that, like, you know, the reps that you're doing and with your eyes and that perception action kind of coupling that we get to do when we're reading the game is way more important than what I'm going to say. And then hopefully reflecting on it at an appropriate moment and then having that perception action coupling again, that read again, like can help you guys improve over time. I don't know. It's not easy to be on my staff because I definitely want you to work really hard and make sure you also have the same mentality as me and give the players the best. And like I said, I'm going to make mistakes and we're going to lose sometimes, and I'm going to come back the next year with different keys because I realized mine were wrong or I had to adapt some things. But I would just say it's a no stone unturned philosophy where my job is to win. It just is. So I need to find ways to do that. And I think that all these pieces are really, really important. And I really believe they all matter to winning. And that's at the end of the day is the core of my job, right? To win games.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, maybe it's good to know for people that have never worked with you. Like, I think this is something really special that every practice is recorded, and not just recorded, like it will be scouted. So after the practice, you can watch all your actions from the whole practice, from especially the 6 versus 6 part, and not even that. Like you even take the time to rewatch it, to make comments, to tag not only you, but also the assistant coaches. So after every practice, the next morning we have to, or it's also part of our job to watch the practice and to see what, like to actually take this time. It's not just, okay, every player gets a chance if they want to. No, we have to. And I think this is something also unique. Like I had coaches that film the practice and you get to watch it. And I also have coaches that scout it, but you have to always ask to get the video. And with you, it's like, I think part of mandatory work or like homework, let's say, every day to rewatch practice and see if you like let's say this feedback that you maybe don't do during practice, you give the next day or in the evening. Just so people know what we're talking about.
No stone unturned. I don't know how people learn. People learn differently, so I just want to make sure that across the board it's there. And I'll give more feedback to some people in practice, but for some people with experience, I can see that it probably harms them, even if they don't know that much. Looking at some of you. And so I yes, feel my eyes, yes. And it's better just to do the repeat and to figure it out yourself, and then we can talk about it after, you know. So it's also a little bit of my experience and working with athletes to see what improves best. But I would like to have everything available as much as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Thank
crazy.
You. Guys, this is fun. I'm getting so many compliments. Yeah. No, but honestly, it really like the main. I'm kidding. The main thing is that like what you guys know about me too is like I will mess it up. I will say something you don't like, or I will be wrong. We will lose a game because I've done something bad sub, or I will come back the next year and change a whole system, or I'll halfway through say, oh no, we need to change this. Like, but I think you guys know that I'm working very hard and I have a reason for things. And so therefore together we have that grace, and no stone unturned. I can't say it enough. Like that's what's important to me. And I want to have that vulnerability with you guys that, I'm going to work my ass off to do everything we can to get there. But sometimes we're going to have to, improvement doesn't look like this, it looks like this. And that's also for me and my staff as well. And so we're all just going to keep going on that route. And that's just extremely important for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I love that. We have the same saying, by the way, in German. So it works really perfect. The most,
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's really cool. Yeah. And I think we all feel it when we go back to club. And as Maya said, like, then we come into teams where the feedback is maybe like a lot different, or like the practices are like recorded, but not not tagged, or not scouted. And for me, at least, like, it's every time like getting used again to like, oh, this is now a different form of feedback. And also the learning looks a little different. So like, I find that like a national team, of course, for me, again, like I've worked with you now for many years. And of course the system, I agree that it changes every year a little bit, or not the whole system, but there are certain things that we do that are not always the same. However, the core of it is like mostly the same. So yes, it's easier for me to adapt, but still I think that like even if you do something new here, it's easy to learn because you always have the video and you have like the example, and like you can like watch and be like, oh, this is how it should look like. Okay, I'm not there yet. Whereas like sometimes I go into clubs and it feels more like trial and error by like, and it's also fine. But it's way more like, okay, something feels wrong. What is it? Okay, I don't know. I'm going to try something else. And then like, it's just a different form of learning. And I think it's quite interesting now that I've been exposed to both a lot. It challenged you in very different ways. And yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Not really a question.
I think one thing that I sort of reflect on a little, maybe having left Switzerland now in the club as well, is that like perhaps early on, the way that I coach, the way that I work, some players can get a little too reliant on it being me, being able to do that. And so I think at the same time of like making sure that I can be myself, because that is who I am and that's who I want to be. I want to make sure that what I do can teach athletes to just do it anyway when I'm not there for the 8 months that I'm not there, And so I think that's something I've improved as the years go on, is that, like you said, it's like, say, nice, or it fits you very well to work with me, but you need to be able to work with other people too, which you definitely got that in place. No stress. But I don't, as much as I want to leave no stone unturned, I don't want players reliant on me, because that's just not the reality of their career. And I really care about your careers, So that's something that I've been trying to adjust in terms of, just what little things can I change there? Maybe just a few more conversations, maybe some less conversations in certain areas, like thinking about figuring some stuff out yourself, or giving mental tools and things like that. That's been something that I've added in, because I was really lucky to have a lot of athletes for a lot of years, which I really do love working with people for a long time. It's a really core philosophy is mine as well. But I want to make sure that they can flourish when they leave me, not crash and die. So, which I think I'm improving.
Yeah. But I think this is like also to maybe just about recruiting players. Like when you get to a club, you can choose your players. I mean, I know you would choose all of the four of us if you could for
every
your
single
club.
one.
I know that.
Yes,
exactly.
But like if you like recruit your players, like what do you like take care more about? Are they already like, let's say, on the things that you see on video, able to have these tactics or tactical things that like fit to your philosophy, or you take more care that they fit from the personality? And how do you do this national team where you can't choose exactly this, you get what you get? I mean, that's a little bit like,
Totally. Okay, so in the club, I mean, the crude, direct way to say it is, no matter what, the best player for the price that I can afford, because everybody has a budget, right? So like that is the crude part of it. So we talk about like, people think, Lauren's system, like my system is very flexible. Like it really, if everyone can't play my system, then my system is wrong. So I do like to play fast, but like fast means very different for many different people. Like, and I don't have a blanket speed that I want to play. It just means like we don't want to play moon balls, just because then you can get 3 blockers up and that's like really bad. So I want to get the best player. that's important. I do have a few, like, let's say non-negotiables or things that I'd be looking for. And one of those things is definitely like coachability. At the end of the day, like I'm gonna run the team, and will that athlete like respond to the things that I need? Like maybe they don't actually need technical coaching because they're already very good in some areas, but maybe I need them to work with their teammates in a certain way. And so then I have to do a balance. Like, this is the best player I have that I can get, but she's probably going to hurt us in this area because she doesn't seem like she might work so well with her teammates. Is that balance going to work out or not for me? Because I don't want to be someone who can just only recruit a certain type of player, and I don't think that I am. But I have to make those balances. Like I really like people with growth mindsets and very open to new things. They're more comfortable for me to work with, just because of my personality and the speed and directness that I would like people to try things. But what if they're not? And I have to teach that to them. Like, that's okay. I can do that. And so if they're a good person and they're a good player and they have that sort of will to want to work on that mental side of things, then I'm going to do it, you know? So I think that like best player, and then not hoping, because I do get things wrong sometimes. And then trying to like balance let's say the red flags, which are not really red flags, but just maybe the things that may not be as suited to me. Like, I think that the players in club that have thrived the most with me are just kind of ones that come in and are just like, okay, I'm going to try it. Yeah. All right, I'm going to do it. And just go and do it. And so that is a special mentality, and that's like almost a unicorn. It's very hard to find like exactly that person that's not going to be like, wait, I'm going to suck for a year, or I'm going to, you know, like, I mean, you did a great job, Julie, but we had to talk a while about how we're going to, you know, do some of the, like, it's because it's hard. It's very confronting to do things wrong. Yeah. It's so confronting. Yeah. So I know that player works better with me. It's better if I have a few of those in my team, just so that like I'm sort of free not to have to work on that kind of space. But overall, in a club, I would like to be able to work with everyone and get the best player possible. It doesn't need to fit my system necessarily. But good people, because man, we spend too much time together to have bad people around. So.
Yeah,
it's too complicated. And in the national team, I don't know. It's kind of the same thing. Like, I can still choose you guys a little bit. So that's one point. So I can. So you know, show up well and train well and also be good people. But the core of it is that I would like people to be themselves, and it sounds very corny, but it's just like not. That's how we are our best. If you're a quiet player and you're reserved and you're an introvert, then be a quiet player, be reserved, and be an introvert. I don't care. But if you're a very energetic person and you love to scream in people's faces, then you got to be allowed to do that. And so it's very important for me that each athlete in the national team feels that they are able to do that, and the people next to them essentially like don't judge them for it or doesn't let them annoy them, because they're so happy that the person next to them is like actually going to be themselves, and how much that can bring to the team. You just don't need one personality or one style of person on a team. You need so many. And so I want to encourage that. So I think in the national team, I focus more on that. Is like, hey, like, who are you going to show up as? Be that every single day. And then it's going to fit. It just will fit. But like, don't try to be something else, and don't judge the person next to you if they're something different, because at the end of the day, no single person is the same, and that strength is like, there's unity, but the strength is also in the individuality of each athlete. And so I think I try to just focus on that a little bit more with the national team, and making sure we can show up as who we are.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. And yeah, I agree. I love how you quickly touched on with the growth mindset, because I think all of us had to read the book. Yeah, like
definitely in club. I think I tried to get you guys to do it in national team, but I don't know if I got through to everybody. But yes, yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I'm
gonna get it to you.
What's the name? Growth Mind.
Growth mind.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
called
called
Mindset.
You've read it.
This is actually bad, huh?
No, you. I think you read. I have a German version. You read it. No, sorry, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. You should read it. It's like, so, because I also wrote my whole bachelor thesis, or not my whole, but like part of my bachelor thesis was about this. So it's like I don't forget her last name, but like her first name, but her last name is Dweck, and I think the book is just called Mindset.
Carol Dweck.
And just really quickly, it talks about that we have basically there are two different groups of mindsets, and then one would be like a growth mindset, and the other one is a more fixed mindset. And so when you're more fixed mindset, it is like when you believe that essentially like you're more perfectionist, like you're afraid to make errors, and you believe maybe that, like, for example, your skill or like your intelligence is like something you're initially born with and you cannot really change it, and therefore you're really scared to do something different because you're afraid that might mean that you're not as intelligent or you're not as skilled. And someone with a growth mindset doesn't really believe that like we're born with a certain skill set, and they are more like believing that they can acquire skills and therefore are a little less worried of making mistakes because they believe that this will help them grow. And they did some studies on like sports team, but at also academic level. And if you tell the students or the athletes that their skill is based on what they're born with, they will perform worse because they're so scared of making mistakes. And if you actually tell them that, you can like learn anything, people are more open to make mistakes and therefore learn quicker. And I think it's really fascinating because I definitely consider myself like the way I was more like raised or like grew up. I think I was tending or leaning more into like a fixed mindset, but I definitely think that like I'm slowly learning to have more of a growth mindset. And I stuck. I have like no reaction.
No, you're okay.
Okay, great. So anyways,
no, you're just talking.
so quickly.
It's really interesting.
Okay.
Maybe we should do a whole podcast just about your bachelor thesis, because I think we can.
You recited that. You recited that so well, by the way. Keep going.
I had it.
No, it was really interesting. It was really interesting.
Okay.
But
I thought I was going to have to intervene and help you, but you got it. Yeah.
No, I love this study. I think it's amazing. But for anyone who is like listening and like really curious, I think this is I don't know. I think it's such a cool element, and it's cool that like I remember you made me read it. I think before I even started. I think with Nichatel, like over the summer, you probably like after your first 2 meetings, you were like, okay, well, this girl has a fixed mindset. So before you even get into my gym, make sure you read this book. I remember I read it on holidays, but yeah, so it was really cool. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Cool.
So cool. Yeah, I don't know. That was not really a question either, but I just thought. For anyone, because I'm like, this is really cool stuff. So I'm like, anyone who hasn't read it, please, this is like amazing.
Read the book. Yeah.
Read the book.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so last question that is a little bit about your game as well, or the last element is the whole scouting side of it. So Samira brought up the point that like she's never had that in depth of a scouting report, or like just in the statistics that you do are anything but standard and basic. And there as well, how did that develop? Like, when did you come up with how you're gonna make the statistics about the game?
So, I mean, again, I want to win. So I need to tactically, the only thing I can literally control on game day is tactically beating the other coach, right? So I think that I don't like the word feeling. And coaches, especially coaches maybe not super high level, but some are high level, but like more at that medium level, are like, oh, you have a good feeling of the game. No, I really don't. I actually just understand the game really, really well. And so my feeling gets better the more knowledgeable I become. And the more knowledgeable I become, it definitely comes from sort of my research and understanding the game. So for me, it's important to understand the sort of comparative analysis and like longitudinal, like what wins volleyball at what level, what do we need to be good at, because then all my philosophy, all my vision of the game, it comes from that. It's not just from nowhere. It's like we want to play fast because if we do it correctly, we're going to have less blockers. You have less blockers, you score more. It's like these things are real data points. You know, you want to have a higher kill percentage. It's very related. So we need to eventually have some errors, you know, and we need to sacrifice that. And those are sort of over a longitudinal data, very important for me to understand the game so that I don't waste time. I don't want to waste time. I want to be working on what makes us win. And my question I ask myself is like, if we were the best at the world, the best in the world at this, like, would it help us win? Like I need to refresh that all the time instead of getting caught up in things that don't matter. And then the actual day-to-day game planning. Yeah, I think it's just a challenge for me to provide clarity, to give you guys a few things to focus on, know every single thing myself so I can help in some moments in a game, like in this particular situation, do this or do that. But how best do I know everything but pass the right stuff on to you, but group it together, but make sure it's understandable. And so that is the amount of different videos we'll do and the way that we present it. I think it's developed over time a little, but just the same. It's the same thing. No stone unturned. So how did I learn it? Well, when I started coaching the guys, I remember tagging the games like by hand like this on a platform that I downloaded on my iPad, and then I learned data volley because like I just had to learn it. So I just spent like a month sitting there reading the data volley manual and learning how to use it, you know. And then along came Volley Station, and I want to learn how to code my own spreadsheets so that I can find my information myself. I really don't want to rely on somebody else to do that. I am in a position now where I can rely on somebody else to do that, but I also want to be able to check like if it's right or wrong, like if because sometimes the actual codes they're wrong. I write them too wrong, and so no stone unturned. Just having knowledge helps me to understand the game better and being able to present it in a manner that hopefully you guys more or less can execute at a decently high level. But again, I as the negative of being a head coach of 2 programs is that I'm a head coach of 2 programs. I very rarely get to see other people work. So I take a lot of time to like, if there's coaches, I'm subscribed to every single thing or paying for every single thing where a coach might show how they scout a game or how they run a training or something, just because like whether I agree with it or not, I do want to know what it is and I want to learn. And I get to as many situations as that as possible because I'll always learn something and develop. And so yeah, I just, again, best version of myself, want to understand the game to make sure that we can win.
I remember the first meeting we had officially with you in national team, and you brought this big like spreadsheet with all statistics from the last Euro volley with like, I think you scouted every single game and you compared us to every single team in whole Europe, like where we are standing and what, like where, I think one biggest thing was like, let's say that our blocking sucked. So I think it was like really, let's say, I think it was the first time we had so much talk about statistic in national team. And I kind of think it was really good for us to see, hey, like this coach is now really wants to work with us in the long term and already sees what our like weaknesses are and will help us, let's say, try to make them stronger, so we go. And I think this is something really impressed me in the first meeting that we had with you. That I mean, I just still remember all these numbers, and it was some were green, and we were like really big red. And I don't know how these numbers
we
are
had
now,
the highest single block percentage of the whole Euro volley,
exactly.
which is like not a good stat to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oop. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I remember like this, and I think it was really helpful to have this, like to see this, and then to know what we worked for.
Right. And I felt like that was very important for me to do when I took over the program, to understand for myself what the weaknesses were and what we needed to get better at like immediately, so that I, again, didn't waste time. But it's also important for you guys to understand like the smaller percentages that I am looking at that stuff so you can trust it. So I don't, as you see, I don't necessarily bring that in every single year now, but I'm doing it, and I think you guys know I'm doing it, and I'll explain it in smaller terms. But that first year was so important to show like, here are some 5 big things we need to go to make big changes, and then I do know what I'm doing, so I will be doing this for the rest of my time with you guys. Kind of thing. That was important. Yeah.
Okay.
I love numbers. Really, they tell me things. So.
You were good in math in school?
Very average. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not. But like that's my next step, is like I would actually like to get, and I'm hoping actually to hire somebody who can sort of help me learn the next step in actual statistics and using R and Python a little bit more, and I want to learn that. And so again, I'm in the position now to have somebody to help me do that. But if I'm not, I will spend the summer learning it myself, because I would like to be able to take the next step in data as well.
Nice. When do you sleep?
Yeah.
As a question.
She doesn't.
Haley sleeps for me. I like this stuff, guys. It's like a hobby. Learning is a hobby for me. Like I just enjoy it. I enjoy it. Yes.
Yeah.
I just remember.
Oh yeah, Samira, go.
I think one time I asked you a question about more data because I don't know, I wanted to know something, and you took out this big sheet with all this data, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't know, it was exactly about the reception, like where the players are not good. it was like, I don't know, all the setter calls with the percentage, what they are doing, how efficient they are with what. I don't know, it was like so
sheet.
complex.
Yeah.
Favorite sheets, yeah.
I made that one myself. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. And also, like, you sent us for Christmas break, we got like some, I don't know, spreadsheet like about our attacks and our
For
like
Christmas. Merry
like
Christmas.
serves
Yeah,
attack.
presents.
Merry
You
Christmas,
suck at
hit
this,
line.
by the way.
Yeah.
Our Christmas present. No, but it's so cool because you can see also like where you do the points, where not, like which attack is your best, which direction of which attack is your best. I don't know, also the attacks after a game, like the true efficiency. I never saw that before. Out of system balls when I don't know, because sometimes you see stats and you don't know like what were the balls, and there are different balls, like easy situation, kind of harder situation, and it can be an outside hitter had a lot of out of system balls, and it looks shitty the stats, but they did maybe a great job, and I don't know, not all coaches are dividing these stats, and for me this is kind of very cool to see.
I hope to come up with some more by next summer too. I am. That's my next job. My next thought
curious.
is to how to. I don't know. We get stuck in the same thing in volleyball, man. So I want to like, what are some new actual stats that we can use to analyze skills? Yeah, I mean, it's my next project.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So we have to do in a second
thinking-
episode with you. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
I'm sure everyone really wants to learn about.
Yeah,
my
I'm
new
like, no,
statistics.
thank you. I don't want to.
I want to.
No, I think I was more thinking it's like cool to see you have a very analytical brain, I think, but like because you're still like, as you said, like you care about the athlete. Sometimes I think I forget like how analytical you really think, like you really think numbers.
I think that's but yes, I think I have probably 7 minutes left, but I could go on a very long tangent here about how I'm perceived as a female coach and what my strengths are. And I am perceived as a female coach, and my strengths being like relationship building and mindset and growth of a team. And yeah, like I'm good at that, but I'm a very tactical and technical coach as well, and I don't think that's easily seen, just given the way that who I am and the way that I act, and also the way that people perceive women. And so it is important for me slowly to make sure that that's known, that we can also be very analytical people. But I think the thing I don't want to get stuck in is like, I don't know, I turned around and I saw the quote behind me in Bettencoop today from Henry Ford about if I asked the people like what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse, And I'm like, Lauren, don't get stuck. And I don't. Like I'm very creative as well, and I want to be very creative in growing the game, and I want to use data to grow it, not to validate it, and that's like super important for me. Is the way that I can work. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Really impressive, really, yeah. How you like yourself have such a drive to just always learn and grow, I think is cool. It's inspiring us athletes as well, But I think, I don't know, I somehow have this picture that like as an athlete, it's like a requirement, but not necessarily for a coach. And then I'm like, oh no, actually, that doesn't make so much sense. Like, why wouldn't? Yeah.
Again, it comes down to purpose. Like I want to win and I want to impact people. And so I believe those two things can happen together, but they require a lot of work for me. But that's what I want to do in my life. So it's just like as a joy for me to go through all this and learn it.
That sounds like a perfect way to finish this.
I was gonna say, because I'm like, we have a personal question written here, but I'm like, it's time-wise, it doesn't really make sense. So I would say we call it, right, guys? Or what do you think?
A wrap.
Oh my God, you can ask me.
I think so.
You can ask me if you want. I got 5 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a long answer. It shouldn't be a long answer.
Yes.
It shouldn't be a long answer. So we finish with something just a little non-volleyball related, hopefully. I hope. So what is something that most people don't know about you?
Yeah, okay, so you guys know it, but I understand like all languages. So like it's very strategic of me so that I do
So
know
next
what
time
you
we do
guys
it in
are saying
German.
when you're like
Exactly.
because listen to the next step. I understand when you're yapping about stuff, and I had to learn that because I coached a full Swiss German team, so I understand Swiss German. But I can't speak to save the life of me. I have like a terrible language anxiety, so to speak. So I understand all of you, all languages, but man, not one word will come out of my mouth.
That's actually impressive.
So that's it's very interesting. Yeah, I don't understand Polish yet, which I really need to because I have 2 Polish people on my staff. but
Yeah,
that
you
sounds
should.
like Chinese.
You have some Polish guys
I
and
understand
stuff.
Chinese
It's
better than
really-
Polish. Yeah. All the Swiss languages. Yeah.
Yeah. We learned that really quickly. I don't know. It's like somehow we talk to each other in Swiss German or French, and then like you respond, and we're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Careful. Yeah.
That was funny.
Careful.
Okay, great. Well, it was so great. I love that. Thank you so much for coming to
Yes,
our
thank
podcast, our
you so
Wednesday
much.
Waffle.
Yeah,
Thank you so
being our
much.
first
Yes.
guest.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
It's true, I was harping on you guys to invite me. But, you know, my fee's gone up over the years, so I'll send you an invoice. But I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, guys. It was
We
a
paid
pleasure.
you in compliments, I think, no?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
actually. I definitely
You
feel
both
better
look
about
so
myself.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, nice.
No.
All right.
Thank
we'll
you
let
guys,
you go
and
to
good job. Good job doing this. It's very important for Swiss volleyball, so keep it up. I know it's
Oh, thank you.
time-consuming and difficult, so
Thank you.
keep going.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. It's really nice to hear. All right.
See you guys
See you tomorrow.
Bye, Lauren.
Yes.
See you.
Das wäre es von der heutigen Folge.
Stellt uns Fragen auf Instagram oder Spotify. Wir freuen uns auf alles, was euch interessiert.
Und vergesst nicht, den Podcast zu abonnieren und zu liken auf all unseren Kanälen, damit ihr auch ja keine Folge verpasst.
Ciao zusammen. Bis am nächsten Mittwoch.